Okay, we're back in Fallen New Vegas.
Hello.
We just killed Benny. Feeling good. Now we're about to walk. So we all know that when you walk outside, Volpes comes out and he tells you that he's given you the mark and that Caesar will let you walk into his camp scot-free no matter what. Now, we all know that we're not doing a Legion run today. We're going with the NCR. So I'm sure to thank Volpes the only way I know how. Thanks, Volpes. Oh, and I guess the NCR guy comes here and tells me that Crocker has something for me, but whatever. After asking my mom if I can go to Crocker's house to play, she says yes, and I'm able to meet with him for the first time ever. Hey there. Crocker asked me about the Boomers, whom we've met before, so all I have to do is just ask them if they'll help me out with the NCR. They will do anything for me.
That's excellent news. So they'll help us, right? Let me know as soon as you have an
let me
answer.
get back to you, little guy. Heading on over to Pearl like a dog excited to meet its owner, I'm able to ask her about Hoover Dam. Hey, Pearl.
Hello, friend. How can Mother Pearl be of help today?
So, Hoover Dam, ever heard of it? Yeah, you're gonna help me. I'm able to convince Pearl into helping me at the Battle of Hoover Dam. So then I return to Crocker and I tell him stuff. Boomers.
You're willing to help the NCR?
He congratulates me on a job well done, but then tells me to rest up as he's got more work for me.
Rest up when you're...
Okay. Hey, I'm ready.
It's good to have a...
Crockpot tells us about violence that's going on against the NCR on Freeside from the King's gang, specifically from Pacer. He gives me two ways that I can deal with him, the first one being to get rid of him in a way that doesn't involve the NCR, and the second one being the diplomatic route, where I would go up to the King and ask him. Well, we already have the favor from the King that we can turn in, so how about we start with that?
You look new to Freeside, so here's a little
Never
advice,
been here.
friend. Don't go past the Southgate greeter without talking to it first. The name's Old Ben. I've been living in Freeside since the day I was born.
You're so
Later.
cool, dude. I've been living in Freeside since yesterday. Sup, dude? Going up to the King, at first, he tells me that he has no faith in anyone, that they'll be able to actually withhold this, but then I tell him that his gang will just follow his lead. So then, he changes his mind and says that he'll have no problem whipping up hooligans into shape, and says, no more violence against the NCR, you got it. So, there we go.
No more violence against the NCR on my watch.
All right.
One of Mr. House's families was killed.
What do you think of that, huh, Pacer?
May I help
Yeah, that's
you?
right. Yeah, you already did. Going back to Mr. Crocker's house from my well-deserved job well done, he tells me that he no longer has any use for me and sends me to Colonel Moore at Hoover Dam. But not before I pay Mr. House a visit at the Lucky 38. You just gotta let it
A hell for you. A Tartarus, bleak, unending.
Whatever you say, though, bro. Time for you to go. Alright, now it's time to go to Hoover Dam. I went to the principal's office to try and talk to Mrs. Moore, but she was too busy trying to do her Michael Jackson impression. She tells me about the great cons, the people who were able to help Benny put an ouchie on my head. Principal Moore goes on to say that I should deal with them in one way or another, but I had another plan. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make them try and join the MCR. Whatever you say, dude. I arrive at the Longhouse to try and talk to Papa Khan about cutting ties with the Legion, but he tells me to buzz off as I'm wasting his time. Walking outside, Regis tells me that he wouldn't be opposed to breaking it off with the Legion, and tells me to get the others in on it as well. That being said, I make my way over to Jack to convince him that Caesar isn't much of a stand-up guy, and then I go over to Melissa, but not before getting attacked on the way. Bro, why are you guys hanging out in like the most dangerous part of town? Yeah. Brady just wanted me to talk to you about them dudes.
You can ask, but why would I do that? Carl told me all about the life in the Legion. He says I've got all the makings of a speculatory.
It's not a real thing, bro.
What?
After finding out it is indeed a real thing, Melissa agrees to stop supporting the Alliance. Returning to Papa Khan, I tell him that his advisors are no longer going to support the alliance between Caesar's Legion. He then goes on to say that the only thing he cares about is his clan's glory. So I need to find out what he has glory in. Because my speech skill wasn't high enough, I needed to go back and do Cass's quest line so that I could put enough points into the speech requirement.
Had enough? Watch out!
I'm finally able to level up and put just enough points into the speech skill, so I return to Papa Khan and get him to finally see his tribe's glory.
Well spoken, traveler. Well spoken indeed. Perhaps it's time to find our own destiny, unburdened by the past.
With all that behind us, I murder him to put Regis in charge of the Great Khans. You're in command, so how about them NCR bros?
Without Papa Khan's guidance, I don't know what else to do.
Returning to Principal Moore, I tell her that the Great Khans will provide support at the Battle of Hoover Dam. She then tasks me with finding out what the murders are up to in the Gomorrah Casino. So while I was there, I took the liberty to clean them out of any caps they had.
Caps it in. Have a...
So at this stage, I was definitely done being diplomatic. So I just killed everyone in the Gomorrah.
I'm gonna clip yourself.
I lied to Cassandra about the Omertas, so I guess we're good now. She tells me that I'm super cool and amazing, and that my efforts haven't gone unnoticed, and that the president's gonna see me personally. Not actually, he's just gonna give me a speech and I have to protect him for some reason. She then goes on a tangent about the Brotherhood and tells me to kill all of them, but seeing as I want to side with them as well, I'm going to see about resolving it peacefully. So now we go back down to the Brotherhood Road and we do the quests that they gave us before. Now we have to go to the vaults for that one place. Vault 11 is where we get the differential pressure controller. Vault 3 is where we get the reverse pulse cleaner and kill all the fiends. Vault 22 is where we find 6 HEPA cartridges, download the research data, and rescue the mean lady. I go to Camp McCarran to get my quest rewards from the NCR. Then, I decide to stay here and do any other quests that remain so that I can get my reputation with them higher. First of which is to interrogate Selus, who tells me that there's a Legion spy on base. He's in the watchtower outside of Camp McCarran, so all I have to do is find him.
What are you doing here?
And I kill him. Here's where we find out that he's planning to blow up the monorail, so we have to get there quick. But I'm too late.
The train is about to depart.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. No. Because of this, I'm forced to load back, and I don't have a save that's close enough to this. The last one is in Vault 22. Bruh. So, I load back and do everything I just did a second time. Please don't leave, bro. Please don't leave. Thank you. I go back inside and tell Hasu that Curtis was planning on blowing up the monorail. He then rewards me with a key that unlocks an NCR safe house, and I get some pretty cool stuff. I return to the Brotherhood of Steel to inform Knight Lorenzo that I have his stuff, and I give it back to him. Then I speak with the Elder to see about doing any more quests that need me to finish up so that they can join the NCR. Go to Black Mountain is what I need to do, and from there I need to install a remote signal transmitter to go back to the Brotherhood. Now all I have to do is get Elder McNamara to side with the NCR, but surprisingly he proposes a truce. So I go on back to Hoover Dam to figure it out. Bringing up the idea to Moore, she's not very happy about it, and instead forces me to go see the president, which I'm not too excited about, but hey, we're here to do it. Protecting the president goes off without a hitch and no problems at all, unless you count this dead ranger, and this ranger posing to be a sniper, or this engineer carrying a detonator. But we have figured all that out, and now the president's home free and safe to go. No. Oh. Loading back and doing it again. He's safer this time. this time. Much safer. I tell Principal Moore that the president's safe and that we're good to go. She asks me if I'm ready for the Battle of Hoover Dam, but there's one more thing. Entering Freeside from the heavens, I'm able to safely enter the Mormon fort and talk to Arcade Gannon. If it wasn't obvious, I'm going to enlist the help of the Enclave remnants as well. Taking him with us to go sightseeing, he's comfortable enough to tell me about the said Enclave remnants to help us with the Battle of Hoover Dam. I gather up all the Enclave remnants, with the exception of Henry, who has me do a short quest for him, but it's not too bad. Then I meet them at the bunker, tell him the plan, convince Marito to stay, tell Chuck to stay in Freeside, and he gives me a nice present for it. Thanks, Zach. It's not really my thing, so I'll give it to someone who will use it. And now, I give you what you've all been waiting for, the final quest in the game, the Battle of Hoover Dam. Fusing with Veronica like Dragon Ball, we talk to General Oliver, who tells us what we have to do in this situation. Going in shotgun first, it's a bloodbath. I'll try and leave in some raw footage. I'm able to make it to the overflow control console, and I switch on the generators so we can get the Legion out of there. Yeah, buddy. Nice.
Well, look who it is. Fantastic's little helper, all grown up, following in his master's footsteps.
I get outside and push the Legion down the dam. Unfortunately, one of the Great Khans die, but he drops a riot shotgun, which I know just where to riot shotgun. But first, the best part in the whole battle. And now, up until the Leggett's camp, we have the support from the Alpha Squad Rangers. And then, the heavy guns arrive. Out of nowhere, I might add. We soldier on into the Leggett's camp to put an end to all of this. And without giving him the privilege to talk to me, I put a sneak attack critical in his side, and he's down for the count. Now's my chance to get up into him and lay down the shotgun fire. And like a little baby, he starts to run away after I put some VAT shots into him. And with that, I put him down with a few more shots. A little more for me personally, wipe out the rest of the guards. We finish the game as we talk to General Oliver.
That's a fine bit of work back there.
I'll level up for the last time and put it all into melee weapons for no apparent reason. This game is one of my favorites. If you've never played it, I definitely recommend doing it. It's a fun experience and it's awesome. Well guys, that was Fallout New Vegas. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you liked it. See you guys later.